So Mr. Luxon has been talking to a News Talk ZB host, bragging kind of like a teenager does, that he's cooler than the last group of kids that came through. I'm so much cooler than them. They were all dorks, the guys that used to run this place, but I'm going to bring coolness back to my high school.
Luxon claims he's brought the gold standard of Kiwi businesses with him on this trip, telling News Talk ZB in an interview delegations under the last government were anything but.
The few that we did do in the last 6 years compared to when I would go with Key on a few of them had just got very watered down to sort of the C list really, and this is why I want the A list being there.
Isn't that pretty insulting to those businesses?
I disagree completely. I think if I was Jason I was talking to, and as I said to him at the time, if they played the full text of the interview, what I was meaning was this is a high-powered delegation.
Businesses on Dame...
You know how there's that adage
wasn't.
When you're explaining you're losing, you know there's that thing?
Jacinda Ardern's trip to Japan included Fonterra, Zespri, Ainsco, GNS Science and Christchurch Airport. Those businesses are on this trip too. Would you call Christchurch Airport C-list? Would you call Fonterra C-list?
We're just happy to be part of the NZ Inc. team.
Are you calling them C-list?
That wasn't what I said, and I think you're taking the comments out of context.
Oh, okay. So if we're taking them out of context, let's go to the full clip then, shall we? Because we definitely don't want to do that. Here's the conversation he had on News Talk ZB in its entirety, if I can see how to play it. There it is there.
I felt a lot about delegations when we did the few that we did do in the last 6 years compared to when I would go with Key on a few of them had just got very watered down to sort of the C list really, and this is why I want the A list being there, and I want businesses that can do business in Japan, have interest in Japan, and it's a key part of their business strategy going forward being on the trip, not just tag-alongs.
So a key part of them travelling is so that they would do business, not just be tag-alongs. That's actually saying that they were just milking a business trip is actually the context of what he was saying. Let's go back to the story.
I said this is very exciting that we've got a high-caliber delegation of chairs and CEOs of New Zealand's major companies.
Luxon clearly...
No, he didn't really say that. He kind of said that they were the C class and this is the A class, and the ones that came last time were looking for a business lunch as tag-alongs. That's kind of what you said about Fonterra and Zespri. It's kind of what you said.
Convinced he's not in the doghouse for his rough talk.
Oh, boo!
Now listen, we don't normally play the commentary,
let's boo that pun first.
Okay. Boo, 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 boo. Okay. We don't normally play the commentary afterwards, but the reporter spoke to the businesses off air, and it's interesting to hear what the businesses like Fonterra and that said off air.
Straight to Tokyo. Kia ora, Amelia. How have Luxon's comments gone down with businesses on this trip?
Well,
Sorry, Chewy. I'm just getting you prepared for a worse pun. I remember what she says. Just get ready. It's bad.
Spoke to a few of them today and they were pretty reluctant to talk about it publicly, probably because they didn't want to rain on the trade missions parade, so to speak. But off camera, they do seem pretty unimpressed and perplexed, and one told me that he just didn't agree with the comments whatsoever. You can imagine that's also, these are the guys who slogged it out for almost 40 hours in transit to get here. But business is just one of the focuses of Luxon's trip to Tokyo. The other is political. Today he announced New Zealand would be increasing sanctions against North Korea's ballistic missile program, and for the first time will be sending NZDF ships to monitor those sanctions. This comes...
Listening to Matthew Hooton tonight on Bomber's show, which we might play this tomorrow night, he basically said these trips that Jacinda took and Luxon took are exactly the same, only Luxon's plane broke down.
Yeah.
I thought it's got quite a good analysis.
Can I make two points? I think,
please,
honestly, three actually. I think he's just been a bit of a wanker, and probably just trying to overplay his sort of friendly, warmly relationship that he has with some of the hosts on ZB, and he's been caught like a possum in the headlights. I didn't see the TV3 clip, but I did a little bit of research. In fact, about 25% of the people that are on or the type of roles that they're in, like CEO of Air New Zealand, etc., were on a lot of Jacinda Ardern's trips when she took them. And let's just remember, folks, that Jacinda Ardern and Damien O'Connor did a pretty good trade deal with the not only the European Union but the UK in their last term. And in fact, the reality is that it's only been Labor that has brought home free trade agreements. Before the election, this government was talking up a free trade agreement with India. That is just fucking bullshit. It's never going to happen. They're an agriculture-based society, a long way away from New Zealand. They don't like us. They don't like us eating cows, let alone them wanting to buy cows. And let's just see what runs they get on the board in terms of free trade agreements under their tenureship.
Yeah, Joey.
I just love the fact that he just basically went,
Yeah.
I didn't bring the losers. I didn't bring the losers that the last government did. I just bought pure A-grade, studly New Zealand businesses. And he turned around and go, did he just call us losers and studs? But, I guess the upside is he probably doesn't have to share a plane with them back. That could be awkward.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always the same businesses we take to Japan. And it's always the fucking kiwi fruit mascots that come out.
Yeah.
And it's always the like I remember people lashing Jacinda for an admittedly awkward photo op with a couple of people wearing fucking kiwi fruit costumes.
Fucking Zespri. If I was the Prime Minister, Zespri is the last group I would take on an international trade delegation. They basically monopolise the industries. If you wanna start up a small to medium term kiwi fruit orchard, it's fucking impossible because of the royalties you have to pay to Zespri. So if there's one company I think that's holding back, and you talk to Hapu and Iwi sort of businesses that's holding back development is a company like Zespri. And fucking for how many years did Fonterra try to shut every bastard out? So let's just if the chickens are going to come home to roost, let's just talk a bit of truth here for a minute, folks.